So we just finished day 13 of our 80-day obsession journey. It is cardio, which is going to be the same workout every Saturday. It's going to change with intensity so that we're going to be doing more rounds. Last Saturday was the first time we did it, and I don't know if you saw my live video, but we do one move and then pair it with the second move, and then we do move 1 and 2, pair it with the third move, and so on and so forth. And then at the end we do 2 rounds, and from what I've been told, we are going to increase to 4 rounds at the end and 8 at the very last month of this. But so far my progress is great. I'm seeing major definition in my shoulders and arms and back. My bloating is way down after our vacation in New Orleans, and the whole group that we're in has just really brought this fire to everybody's soul. And I know I talk about this a lot, but accountability groups and support are very key to people's success when they're trying to lose weight, when they're trying to get fit, when they're trying to focus on their health, because a lot of times our peers or our family aren't on the same track, and it seems, you know, like it should be natural that everyone in our circle would be supportive. But I found that just because you live in the same household, just because you have the same DNA, just because you travel in the same circle, doesn't mean your goals are exactly the same. So when you have that support system of people who have the same common goal, you feel supported. You have that daily reminder and inspiration. And so being part of this group, even though we're just here for the purposes of testing the program to be able to give our feedback before it's rolled out to the public, it's so nice to be able to have this group as a coach, and then have Autumn in there basically coaching us and answering all of our questions. And so if you are on your own journey to lose weight, to get healthier, to become more fit, then you need to be part of a support system. And if you're wanting to do 80-day obsession, because I know a lot of people have reached out to me and said, like, you know, I can't wait for January. This program does move fast. You have, one of the biggest things that I've seen as being part of this test group is that even the people in the cast, you know, all the cast members and even Autumn are struggling. And that's the coolest thing about it, is that you guys always see like the edited version once the program's rolled out. We're seeing what really goes on, and they're human. I mean, yesterday Autumn was having a hard time fumbling with the weights. She had to change her position of her weights because her grip, she was having difficulty. And so this is the biggest thing that I can really impress upon everyone's mind is you can do this program no matter what. I believe that. But if you really want to feel good going into this, you really need to start developing a base of fitness now, understanding how our container system works, because the whole program is based on that. It's time nutrition, and really I've heard nothing but positive feedback from the 90 people in our group, because we're seeing that we're not crashing during our workouts. So that's kind of the gist of today. It was cardio, 26 minutes. I survived. I burned a little over 200 calories. I'm not sore from yesterday like I thought. Like, I definitely can feel my legs. I can tell that I worked them yesterday, and yesterday was leg day. But last Friday, the first leg day, I literally couldn't walk all of Saturday, all of Sunday, and very sore on Monday. So I definitely, we're getting stronger. I'm still feeling it, so I know that I'm working it, but it wasn't as severe. So that's a good thing. But today I wanted to talk about hydration. So our body is mainly made up of water. And so many people don't drink enough water nowadays. And that's something that's a big problem, because dehydration can lead to so many different issues. And one is, overeating, because a lot of times when you're dehydrated, you'll think that, like, your body will think, well, I need to eat. And also people are going to get headaches and just all sorts of things. Your body's going to function better. Your body's going to be more lubricated with the fluid in there. And water alone, while you're exercising, is not actually the most effective way to stay hydrated, because your body actually really flourishes when it has the perfect blend of carbs, electrolytes, and water to be able to really replace the loss. One thing is people don't realize is that you sweat all the time, especially during exercise, and a lot of times you don't necessarily know it because it evaporates. You can lose up to 3 gallons of water. Just, it depends on, what, how much you sweat. It also depends on the, what you're doing all day long, your type, how, what type of exercise you're doing. But normally you'll lose, around a gallon and a half of fluid from your body. Like I said, if your whole body's made up mostly of water, you need to replace that. And a lot of people turn to sports drinks, Gatorade's always been the one that is on TV, promoted by athletes, and I've looked at the ingredients, and so the second ingredient is sugar, and so I know so many people I see it on my feed on Facebook, and I hear people talking about going on a sugar detox, and I'll tell you that in the last 13 days, I've consumed nothing but natural sugar, like sugar that is part of fruit or whatever, but so many people are having such issues because of not, like, organic cane sugar is different than the sugar that you see in these types of drinks or foods nowadays, because they're highly processed. But the second ingredient is sugar. And then the fourth ingredient is salt, and then sodium citrate, and then there's natural and artificial flavor. The artificial is what really, makes me think, but natural. Google natural, what is really allowable to be considered natural. If anybody knows, vanilla and I think it's raspberry, if you Google it, are actually, the flavoring comes from beaver anal gland. Definitely not sure whoever discovered that or decided to use that as the natural, but just because something says natural doesn't mean that it is. It just depends on what your version of natural is, but lots of things out there that are natural, I wouldn't want to put in my body. Then the sucralose, and then the red dye 40s in this one. And so sucralose is a very controversial thing. There's been, trends over the years of like sugar-free, low-fat, low-calorie, but, sucralose was, I always have a hard time saying that word. You'll mostly see that in Splenda, but it was basically a chemical substance that was just happened to, a scientist basically stumbled upon it. He got his wires crossed, I guess, on something he was trying to create, and it ended up turning into this. He found out that it tasted sweet, and then it became something that is used in so many things. Like the next time you go to the grocery store, pull things off the shelf and look at the ingredients, especially drinks. But that has been a sweetener, a sugar substitute, because basically your body doesn't actually absorb it, so there are no calories. But it's really it goes through this chemical process, and if you really think about these things that you're putting into your body that are chemicals, and they've been tampered with in a lab, those aren't things you want to put in your body. So what I've been using is this hydrate, and what's great is it doesn't have anything artificial. There are no dyes. It has beet sugar in it as the sweetener and stevia. And what's really cool is basically when I first started working out, especially cardio, I would drink like probably 1 to 2 cups of these in a 30-minute workout. And when Ryan and I were working out together, we used to always have to take turns going in and getting more water. And the crazy thing is that we would have to stop our workouts. So that would, definitely lower our heart rate. It takes a while to get back going. And then on top of it, when you have like this much water sloshing in your belly in 30 minutes, then you have to pee, then it's uncomfortable. So the best thing that I found is using this during our workout is great, is because it has the perfect blend of carbs, and sugars, carbs, electrolytes, and then mixed with water. That's perfect, so that your body actually absorbs it and replaces that electrolyte loss, and it's absorbed faster. The fluid is absorbed faster. And so what's great is that depending on the level of your workout, if you are doing a 30-minute workout, you do 1 scoop, and if you're doing a more strenuous workout, which is an hour, then you do 2 scoops of this, and it tastes really good. It tastes better than Gatorade, in my opinion. It's a really mild citrusy flavor. But talking about the time of workouts, I will say that the workouts that we've been doing in the 80-day obsession have been anywhere from 35 to 60 minutes. And when I started working out years ago, I was doing a 60 to 90 minute workouts. That's all I knew. And then along came workouts that have been more fitting for people's schedule that are 30 minutes, and I got really spoiled. And then I began to condition myself that I couldn't do 30 minutes. And now I have a more flexible schedule and even more free time. So that's just something that was a mindset, something that I conditioned myself to believe. And that's the one thing that I've learned so much on this journey is you condition yourself and you convince yourself of certain aspects, which really inhibits your ability to grow, to change, to get the results. And I'll be talking more about this later, but really, I'll say that I have survived the long workouts and I actually love them. And this program, I'm excited to do it every day. And, one of my friends, Melissa McAllister, who's in the test group with me, she said something yesterday in the group, and she was like, I can only think of one thing that's horrible about this program. The only thing people are going to complain about is that they're never going to want to do another program, because this one is so awesome, because every day you get to do a different workout. So you're not going to get bored with it. There's going to be that level of uncertainty, which makes it exciting, and your body's never going to get used to it. And I'm really excited about the results I have, because I had this goal of I'm not tying it to just a weight loss, but I know what weight I feel my best at, and I've been having a lot of food sensitivities or hormonal or medication issues, and I've been trying to figure it out. But my goal was to lose 4 to 5 pounds a month, so I could lose about 15 to 20 pounds. And so I'm right on track, because on day 13, as of today, I've lost 2.5 pounds. So on Monday, I'll redo some pictures to just kind of see, because the greatest thing about this type of program, I'm seeing that there's going to be more inches lost, more changes in your body that are not tied to just the scale. So anyways, I'm 13 days in. I'm so excited about the next, the end of month 1 and then moving on. But I'm also sad because I'm seeing how fast time flies. We are technically finished with week 2 already, and I'm like, well, what is going to happen when it's over? Because it's going to be over before I know it. So anyways, I'm so excited about it. And if you are, I'd love to hear from you. And if you are wanting to get started, now's the time. Kids are going back to school. You're going to be back in a routine. You've had a routine over the summer. So let's get a plan in place for you, so that when the kids go back to school, you can introduce exercise or a little bit, changing of your nutrition along with that, because then your body's gonna and your mind's gonna acclimate with just, you're already making the changes, so just add a new one in so you don't go back to old routines. So anyways, I hope you have a great rest of the weekend.